Happy Advent too. If you can hear the sound of my voice, if you're somewhere in the fellowship area, this is your cue to make your way into the sanctuary. And also take a rise if you're willing and able, and let's get started. Sing we now of Christmas, Noel sing we here. Hear our grateful praises to the babe so dear. Sing we Noel, the Christ is born Noel. Sing we now of Christmas, sing we now Noel. Angels call to shepherds, leave your flocks at rest. Journey forth to Bethlehem, find the lambkin blessed. Sing we Noel, the Christ is born Noel. Sing we now of Christmas, sing we now Noel. From the eastern country came the kings afar, bearing gifts to Bethlehem, guided by a star. Sing we Noel, the Christ is born Noel. Sing we now of Christmas, sing we now Noel. Gold and myrrh they took there, gifts of greatest price. There was ne'er a place on earth so like paradise. Sing we Noel, the Christ is born Noel. Sing we now of Christmas, sing we now Noel. In Bethlehem they found them, Joseph and Mary mild, seated by the manger, watching the Holy Child. Sing we Noel, the Christ is born Noel. Sing we now of Christmas, sing we now Noel.
Please remain standing as I welcome you to our service here at Unity of Fox Valley. It's so nice to see your lovely faces here as we plod along into the Christmas season. And I also send a welcome out to those of you who are tuned in on our YouTube channel. So nice to share in your loving energy. I want to ask, do we have anybody here for the first time? Any first-time visitors today? Okay, we're good. I also want to tell you that if you have not yet collected a tag or tags, raise your hand and somebody will come to the rescue and supply you with something. Because we will be using these later. You're invited to write onto the tags names of loved ones that have gone before you, that have passed on, and later on we are going to decorate this Christmas tree with those tags. So please be sure you have them. And just one last reminder, please silence your cell phones. And now that you're tired of standing, we're going to sing another song.
Last week I said the song was from Maine. I was out of my mind. This is the one that's from Maine. Just ignore what I say from here on out. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, so let's have fun with this. Play. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Haul out the holly, put up the tree before my spirit falls again. Fill up the stocking, I may be rushing things, but deck the halls again now. For we need a little Christmas right this very minute. Candles in the window and carols at the spinet. Yes, we need a little Christmas right this very minute. It hasn't snowed a single worry, but it's not a dear, we're in a hurry. So climb down the chimney, turn up the brightest string of lights I've ever seen. Slice up the fruit cake, it's time we hung some tinsel on that evergreen bough. For I've grown a little leaner, grown a little colder, grown a little sadder, grown a little older, and I need a little angel sitting on my shoulder. I need a little Christmas now. Haul out the holly, put up the tree before my spirit falls again. window, carols at the spinet. Yes, we need a little Christmas right this very minute. It hasn't snowed a single hurry, but Santa dear, we're in a hurry. So climb down the chimney, put up the brightest string of lights I've ever seen slides of the fruitcake. This time we hung some tinsel on the evergreen bough. For we need a little Christmas right this very minute. Carols in the window, carols at the spinet. Yes, we need a little Christmas right this very minute. We need a little Christmas now. Instrumental break, move it, dance it out, have some fun. We need a little Christmas now. We need a little Christmas now. Woo! We did it.
Please be seated. I invite you now to, I invite you now to join me in praying the holiday prayer by James Dillard Freeman.
I think you need to sit down.
I'll be all right. Don't panic, I'm good. Let's do the holiday prayer by James Dillard Freeman. Okay, if I need it, I'll sit. Thank you. May there always be room in your heart for divinity to find a birthing place. May you be holy as the angels were, faithful as the shepherds were, humble as the cattle were, wise as wise men were. May you have compassion Mary had, and the understanding Joseph had. And may the blessing of the Christ child be yours, not because of his birthright long ago, but because his love is born in you today. I would like to invite Pam to please come forward. She will light another candle on our Advent wreath and then share with us the daily word.
Good morning, everyone. Let me see if I can do this. I light this candle in acknowledgement of the gift of peace. Peace is part of the Christmas miracle, the birthing of the Christ in the world and within each of us. So I'll do today's daily word. I give the gift of peace. I begin the second week of Advent by affirming peace for myself and all beings and letting the peace of God flow through me. I'm just going to stop for a moment. I hope it's okay. I just have a suggestion. If you want to feel the gift of peace, one thing you can actually do is when you breathe in and then breathe out, breathe in to, let's say, the count of 4, and breathe out to the count of 5 or 6. The breathing out that helps connect the brain and the heart. It really does. Science has proven that. So anyway, just a little aside from me. Okay. Peaceful living does not mean isolation from noise or turmoil. It means calm, even in the middle of hubbub. At this time of year, when so many seem busy and rushed, I rely on the peace of God that resides within to promote calm in my home, in my life, and in the world. Prayer helps me stay centered, serene, and relaxed, so I can be an instrument of peace. holding thoughts of tranquility and affirming peace in every heart. I move through this day and Advent season affirming kindness and compassion. I give the gift of peace as I let it flow from my heart like ripples on a lake, sustaining each person in concentric circles of tranquility and goodwill. Wow. Okay, this is from Romans 15:33. The God of peace be with you all. And I am the prayer chaplain for today, so I'll be here up at the front. If any of you have any joys or sorrows you want to share or pray about, we can do it here or in the other room or whatever. Anyway, thank you all.
I now invite you all to again return to your feet and join in singing and praying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Please be seated. Now it's that wonderful time where we get to bless our children. So I invite our children and the sponsors to please come forward so that we may do that. Please join me in the blessing. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you, and know that you are empowered to do great things. Oh, come, little children, oh, come, one and all. Oh, come to the cradle in Bethlehem stall, and see our Creator from heaven above has sent us tonight as a proof of God's love. Oh, see where He's lying, the heavenly boy. Hear Joseph and Mary, behold Him with joy. The shepherds have come and are kneeling in prayer, while songs of the angels float over Him there.
Am I in the wrong place in the service? Or is... Okay, I can threw everybody off there, I guess. Oh, well, this is what we're doing, I guess, now, right? Ready, Jennifer? Pause. Can we get that level back up? It was fine in rehearsal, and now we can't hear it as good. It's the red. Yeah. What sweeter music can we bring than a carol for to sing, the birth of this our heavenly King? Awake the voice, awake the string. Heart, ear, and eye, and everything awake. The darling of the world has come, and fit it is we find a room to welcome him, to do him honor, who's our King and Lord, with all this What sweeter music can we bring than a carol for to sing, the birth of this our heavenly King? Awake the voice, awake the string, awake the string. Jennifer, thank you.
Thank you, music team. Thank you, Jennifer, and thank you, Kitty. That was outstanding. So no jokes today. We're going to get right to this. Today is a significant day at Unity of Fox Valley as we participate in a long-standing tradition. Today is our Day of Remembrance, a day that we very deliberately set aside in order to call to mind loved ones that have gone before us, and we wish to honor them and acknowledge that there's an ongoing spirit that they have bequeathed to us. And so we will do that right after the talk. Also, it's the second Sunday of Advent, a day in which we try to focus on the aspect of peace, something that the whole world craves, or at least we would think so. And the concept of peace and remembering those who have gone before us are intertwined really in a very special way. And so we're going to try to tie those together. And our talk title today is The Regifting of Peace. Has anybody here ever gotten a gift and regifted it? Okay, so the statistics would say a lot of you are just, not owning up, because over 60% of people acknowledge that at one time or another, yeah, they've regifted something. And regifting has a really bad name, attached to it, and it's also possible to regift something in a very beautiful way. So we're going to talk about that as well. So before we try to put all these pieces together, we have to talk about peace itself. I mean, as I said, everybody wants peace, And as our world just keeps revolving and turning around, every day it just seems like there is more and more, I'll use a Hebrew term, soros, which means troubles, problems. Wars are still being waged. And on the hope front, we're dealing with deadlines, and we're dealing with trying to resolve our financial matters, our money matters. And sometimes we get caught up in the game that I call, if I can only game. If I could only make it through this semester at school, everything will be okay. If I could only make it through the holidays, everything will be okay. But let me tell you something. The calendar has never, ever, ever brought peace to anybody. It's not possible. And another misconception that we have very commonly is that there's a path to peace that we are all trying to discover. There's no such path. It doesn't exist. And so we're constantly looking for it, constantly trying to find it. But peace is not something that you go out and find somewhere. And in my professional career in the leather business, I guess I'm in a professional career now, I have traveled over 4 continents, and I have visited with cathedrals and mosques and temples and the pyramids in Mexico. And in each and every one of those places, I thought I found peace as I prayed. And there was something that went on, but I really didn't find peace. What I really found was a fix. Because it wasn't long after when I would leave those sites and leave those experiences, and it was business as normal. And all of the things that tormented me and bothered me were right there in my hip pocket. Well, being good Unity students, you might say, well, Reverend Mike, of course you're not looking in the right place, because if we go within, we're going to find it. And my answer to that is yes. It's a definite maybe. And the reason that I'm calling it that is, if we go in and try to find peace by recalling our accomplishments, we're not going to find peace. Peace is never related to ego. Peace is never related to the personas that we put on every day. But you can find peace by going within. But if you really are serious about wanting to find it, you have to go and find it in your weaknesses. You have to find it where you're vulnerable. You have to find it where you are hurting, where you have been made to feel shame, where you have been told that you are small. Because that's the only place that you could use those things that we work so hard to numb and hide and bury, not realizing that when we are burying them, we are bearing along with them the Christmas miracle of peace. And just falling back into the routine, trying to do what peace is dictated by the world. Our way shower, Jesus said, "Do not let your hearts be troubled. Do not be afraid. My peace I give to you, my peace I leave with you, but not as the world gives you peace. Do I give my peace to you? What is so different about it? What is it, if anything, that makes it long-lasting? What is it that makes it enduring? See, we have this tendency to think of peace, as something when the bullets stop flying or when the bombs start exploding or when the money problems go away and the illnesses and the rotten diagnosis goes away. And when the inner conflict that we're having with somebody that we're in relationship goes away. But peace could never, ever, ever be defined in terms of the absence of something. Peace could only take on meaning when it is grounded in our wholeness. It is only then that we are fulfilled, and again, it goes back to not running and hiding away from the things that are plaguing us and bothering us, that keep us awake at night. I want to share with you one gospel story that I think very much relates to what we're talking about today. And this is a story where Jesus walks on water. It's interesting because the Bible that I used to look this up, it has a caption above not every verse, but every concept, every theme of verses. And the theme for this one was Jesus walks on water. And I think that they missed the boat. I don't think that's the theme of what I'm about to share. Anyway, the apostles were on a boat on the lake. And they see a figure coming toward them, walking on the water, which of course is not possible. So they thought it was an apparition of some sort. They thought it was a ghost. But as Jesus got nearer, they recognized that it was Jesus. And Peter, being rambunctious as Peter always was, says, you won't find this in a script, I'm ad-libbing this part. This is really cool. I want to do that. And so Jesus beckons to him and says, come to me. And Peter gets out of the boat and he's walking on water. And then all of a sudden, he allows the wind to distract him and he begins to sink. And he yells out, Master, please save me. And Jesus reaches out and takes him by the hand. And they get back in the boat. And Jesus says, oh, you of little faith, why did you doubt? The significance of the passage is, it doesn't read that the wind suddenly started to howl and caused him to be distracted. The wind was there from the get-go. Just as whatever is bothering you in your head and in your hearts is here. And it's going to be here tomorrow or the day after that. And if you're wondering how you're going to satisfy those to-do lists, it's going to happen that's not possible, because as soon as you retire something, 2 or 3 other things show up that take their place, and you're always under that pressure. But the point is, while Jesus was walking on the water and Peter joined him, Peter was focusing on the Christ. That's what we're called to do on this Christmas season, during this Christmas season. But again, it's not the Christ that was birthed a couple of thousand years ago. It's very interesting if you read the script on the Nativity. The author did not write that Jesus came along on a golden chariot, brandishing a big, powerful sword. The author of that gospel puts Jesus in squalor, in a stable, laid to sleep to take a nap, in a feeding trough for animals. Somebody who came along with all of the vulnerability and weakness of a newborn infant. And he had to do the work of growing into and earning that title, one of the titles that we ascribe to him, as the Prince of Peace. In a little while, I'm going to conclude this talk, and we're going to decorate this tree. Reverend Jan years ago coined it, and I continue to use that phrase, the Charlie Brown tree, because it's a little bit skimpy. But I really like to think of it as the tree of life. And I want to tie it together with that whole idea of regifting, because if you're coming up and you're placing a tag on the tree, that's a clear sign that at least one person or some persons in your life have done something, have regifted to you a bit of their wholeness. And I recall vividly when both of my daughters were born, in that very moment I was committed to try to not just make them comfortable financially and educationally, but that they would have as much joy and happiness and peace as possible. And so I loved them. And my love for them was not perfect. And the loved ones that you might be thinking of today, I'm sure you could recall things in your life and those relationships in which those loved ones were not perfect either. But that doesn't mean that they failed to impart something to you. And I want to tell you something. If you're going to find peace only through finding perfection, you're going to have a really, really long wait. I just want to share a quick story with you because I think it's related to this. Years ago, a good friend of mine, Lori Geshry, and I were deeply immersed in the licensed teacher program, and we were driving to Unity Village. And we started to get into a discussion that was biblically and philosophically related, and we disagreed with one another. And after a couple of minutes, we started disagreeing with one another a little more loudly. And about 10 minutes into it, we were screaming at one another. And then something weird happened. A large white bird came flying right across the windshield. Maybe it was a pigeon. I'm convinced it was a dove. I'm convinced it was Spirit taking form in some way, shape, or form to send us a message of, will you two guys just snap out of it? What the hell is the matter with you? And Lori and I, when we saw that, we looked at one another and we both just burst out laughing. You're going to come up. You're going to place your tags on the tree. Understand that that action that you're taking is a ritual. And it becomes a meaningful ritual instead of just something that you do by virtue of what you carry forward in placing the tags on the tree. So I invite you to do this with a mindfulness of love for those that have loved you, as imperfect as that love might be. And I invite you to do something also in a spirit of thankfulness for the gifts that they have passed on to you, again imperfect, but to give you some fuel to arrive at a true sense of peace. And then in the spirit of the dove that passed not through the windshield, thank goodness, but by my windshield, I invite you also to give some serious thought to very deliberately committing to take whatever peace it is that you have in your hearts, that you have in your being, and form a covenant, a commitment to re-gift it, not just to the ones that you love, but to absolutely everybody that you can, knowing that you are empowered to do so. And so with that, let's move on to our ceremony. I really love that song. O come, Emmanuel, God with us. Not out there somewhere, and not just alongside of us, but deep, deep within us. In all of the fullness, and all of the glory, and all of the love and joy and peace that is part of our nature. And I invite you to take a nice deep breath and let it out. And as we focus today, not in finding peace, but dwelling in the realization of it. The knowing that it is there mixed right in with all of our foibles and all of our failures and all of our disappointments and all of our smashed hopes. And our weaknesses and our vulnerability. Therein dwells the Christ. For it is, after all, why we are here, as we actively participate and co-create and constantly renewing and rebuilding the world. With each new iteration, we become more closely aligned to Spirit, more closely aligned, not just to design the kingdom of God, but to dwell in it. Take another breath and listen more intently. The still small voice will speak to you, telling you just what an incredible miracle you are, just waiting to be demonstrated. Take another deep breath. Allow yourself to listen a bit more intently. With a bit more confidence. That as you are safe in this space in which we come together today, so you are safe everywhere. And the peace that is promised to you cannot be in any way taken away, annihilated, destroyed. You transcend every difficult aspect of life. And so I invite you now just to spend time in the silence for a few moments as you listen. And now, softly, gently, I invite you back to this space. I will share with you, I did not lose the significance of the furnace motors turning off and the howling breeze for coming through the vents as we moved more and more into the silence. And as you come back and you open your eyes and you dwell in this space and you look around you and you see the lights and you see the trees and you see the posters hanging, the banners hanging, you see the living, breathing Christ next to you. All of those are passageways to seeing that living, breathing Christ within yourself. And so, loving Spirit, with humble hearts, but knowing hearts, we give you thanks for this opportunity to come together today, to celebrate the very essence of our being, to come a little bit more knowledgeable in a genuine knowing of what this Christmas miracle that we all anticipate so prayerfully is all about. The coming alive of ourselves. We thank you, loving Spirit, for this opportunity. We thank you, loving Spirit, for the gift of peace. We thank you, loving Spirit, for everybody and anybody that has ever shared a bit of their peace with us. We thank you for all of this and so much more. And so it is. Amen. Now it's the fun time. It's time for our sacrament of giving and receiving. And I want to seriously thank you for your generosity, as you have been so generous in the past few weeks. Allows us to come together and share in this beautiful spiritual home that we enjoy. And I also want to thank you even more remarkably for the giving of yourselves the way you have, the way you keep showing up and being an active presence of the Christ dwelling in this church family. So please join with me in praying our affirmations. God is my instant, constant, abundant source of supply, and divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all the good that I am, I have, I give, and I receive. Divine love flowing through us blesses and multiplies all the good that we are, we have, we give, and we receive.
Hope you remember this one from last year. I think you will when you do pop in and join us.
Peace for all seasons,
Love every moment.
light shines wherever we are. Faith in the darkness, hope in the silence, joy, joy in our hearts.
Oh, yeah. Every day is a choice
To show some kindness,
We're all a part of one
family,
so connected.
our hearts and spirits.
I reach out for you.
You reach out for me. Peace for all seasons, love every moment. Light shines wherever we are. Faith in the darkness, hope in the silence. Joy, joy in our hearts.
Now is the time
To come together,
to count our blessings.
we are grateful.
We lift our voices.
In one chorus,
Brothers, my sisters, let's celebrate.
peace for all seasons, love every moment. Light shines wherever we are. Faith in the darkness, hope in the silence. Joy, joy in our hearts. All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance.
And now it's time for our announcements. Always, it is right and proper to give thanks to you guys for the hard work that you put in the rehearsals and really dressing up this Christmas season well beyond the lights and the banners and everything else. Thank you. You're looking at me like I forgot something.
And thank you, Reverend Mike.
You're welcome. So we have some announcements. Our healing and wholeness service is an affirmation of our wholeness and good health through songs and prayers. This is scheduled for this coming Friday evening. Please try to make it. You will be very, very happy that you did. Our youth Christmas pageant is next Sunday. This year's theme is The Comfort of Christmas and is inspired by Unity's Advent booklet. The pageant will celebrate the metaphysical meaning of the Nativity story. We are looking forward to seeing you here next week. You'll like this one, I hope. Ugly Christmas Sweater Sunday is coming up. It's time to start planning and come to church in your best sweater. And on Tuesday, December 24th, will be our special Christmas Eve candlelight service. It's a long-standing, beautiful tradition here at Unity of Fox Valley. Definitely, music will be a big part of the service, along with prayer and meditation, as we celebrate the arrival of Christ into the world and the manifestation of the Christ's essence within us. Also next Sunday, there's an afternoon service taking place, not at this church, but it's the Festival of Song and Lights, which is an ecumenical service planned by the Batavia Ministers Association. And our music team, still?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Confirmed.
Will be actively participating in that by sharing a couple of songs. By the way, this also involves free food, free popcorn, and things like that. That service, the actual service will start at 6:30 p.m., but I think the doors will open at 5, so if you get there around 5:30, you could eat and then get involved in that service. Okay? Next, very important, the Megan McDonough and Daniel Namath concert. Ticket sales are now available. Please stop outside the conference room and be sure to get yours. They will make excellent stocking stuffers. If you want to attend the concert, which will take place at 12:30 on December 29th, and you can't afford the money, see me. Nobody should be left out of this. It's going to be that cool, okay? And to share with you, thank you so much. We have met our goal for the fundraiser. We asked for $12K, and we now have $12,825. Your mindfulness is, yeah, give yourself a hand, okay? That concludes our announcements. Okay, so we will now move on to our congregational blessing. I invite everybody to please stand, turn to one another or look across the aisle as we do this, and then remain standing for a prayer of protection and our song, which is not the peace song, okay? We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you, and know that you are empowered to do great things.
The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.